Upskill Dental Academy. I am Dr. Pavana Kamath. Today, let us have a look at rubber dam isolation in endodontics. To begin with, let us have a look at the armamentarium that goes with it. How do we isolate the tooth concerned, which is to be root canal treated, on the rubber dam sheet? This can be done with the help of a template or a rubber dam stamp. This template generally has the location for the permanent teeth as well as the deciduous teeth. Let us see how do we go ahead with it. The rubber dam sheet has two surfaces, the shiny surface which goes into the patient's mouth and the non-shiny surface which stays towards the operator side. The rubber dam sheet is placed over the template and the marking of the concerned tooth is done. The tooth I am taking into consideration here is tooth number 36. I locate the tooth on the template and make a marking. Next comes the rubber dam punch. The rubber dam punch could be one with a rotating table which has holes of various dimensions to accommodate the tooth concerned, starting from the anteriors to the premolars, to the molars, to the largest possible molars, or it could be a fixed punch which would have one large hole or one small hole. What I have here is the one with a rotating table. I choose my hole according to the size of the molar concerned. I locate it and place the marking exactly where needed and punch. I have managed to isolate the tooth concerned on the rubber dam sheet. Yes, so we have managed to punch the hole for tooth number 36. How do we place this rubber dam in the patient's mouth? This is done with the help of rubber dam clamps. There are different kinds of clamps which I shall discuss in detail as things unfold. To begin with, what we need for basic endodontic treatment would be a basic molar clamp, a premolar clamp and an anterior clamp. How do I choose my clamp? I generally pick up my clamp with a clamp forceps. Let us see which clamp fits my molar well. The clamp forceps carries the clamp into the patient's mouth and engages it around the patient's tooth. The jaws of the clamp are now engaged in the beak of the clamp forceps. Let us try this in the patient's mouth. My clamp, which is to be used on the tooth concerned. The jaws of the clamp are widened depending upon the size of the tooth while placing it on the tooth. The clamp wings, the wings of the clamp are now engaged with the rubber dam to facilitate carrying the rubber dam into the patient's mouth. Here you can see that they have been mounted with the rubber dam. Let us now place it on the tooth. Once the clamp is firmly placed over the tooth, the rubber dam is deflected off the wings of the clamp. Again, stability of the clamp is checked. The rubber dam is kept away from the zone of operation used to keep the rubber dam sheet away from the area of operation. Frames can be made of steel or plastic. The benefit of using a plastic frame is radiolucency, which helps during radiographs. We also have foldable rubber dam frames, which are highly beneficial in taking IOPAs without having to release the frame from the rubber dam. It also helps in completing the elimination of saliva from the patient's mouth, for giving additional local anesthesia, etc., without having to release the frame from the rubber dam. The additional accessories which might be needed are the dental floss. The dental floss is generally used to decide how easily the rubber dam can fall in place by checking on the contact points, to check whether the contact points are tight or not. The floss also helps in pushing the rubber dam into place in the interdental region. Rubber dam napkin is used as an adsorbent between the patient's face and the rubber dam sheet. During long dental procedures, often the area of contact of the rubber dam sheet with the patient's skin leads to irritation, and also presence of saliva worsens the matter. Application of Vaseline or applying the absorbent napkin between the rubber dam sheet and the patient's skin helps in reducing the discomfort. It can also help in absorbing the saliva which flows out during the procedure. Wedges are used in stabilizing the rubber dam sheet in place in multi-teeth isolation. It is always beneficial to have a pair of scissors and sometimes artery forceps for some additional procedures which might be required during rubber dam isolation. So, we shall be back soon with videos on multiple teeth isolation and also rubber dam isolation in difficult situations. See you soon.